This porcelain doll moved 6 feet closer to my bed over 3 nights. I have timestamps, measurements, physical evidence, and what I found inside her explains everything. Her name is Margaret, and this is what happened. 3 weeks ago, I inherited this doll from my grandmother's estate in Yorkshire. She's porcelain, made in 1949, and according to family records, she belonged to a girl named Margaret Ashworth who died in 1952 at age 7. My grandmother never talked about this doll, never displayed her. She was wrapped in newspaper, sealed in a wooden box in the attic, with a note that said, "Do not open." I opened it anyway. I'm a paranormal investigator. This is what I do. I brought Margaret home, placed her on my bedroom shelf, and thought nothing of it. That was my first mistake. October 24th, I placed Margaret on the shelf before bed, right here, against the back wall. I took a photo to document her position. I set up my camera on a tripod, pointed at the shelf. Standard overnight recording. I do this for all potentially active objects. The camera records continuously, time-stamped. At 11:47 p.m., I woke up to a sound. Not loud, just a soft thud, like something falling. I turned on my phone light and looked at the shelf. Margaret was on the floor, 2 feet from the shelf. Not directly below where she'd been, 2 feet out from the shelf, like she'd been placed there. I checked the camera footage. At 11:46 p.m., Margaret is on the shelf. At 11:47 p.m., she's on the floor. There's no movement between those frames. No blur. No falling motion. She's just in a different position. I'm a skeptic first. I checked for vibrations, drafts, unstable shelf placement. Nothing. The shelf was solid. No earthquakes reported that night. No logical explanation for how a 2-pound porcelain doll moved 2 feet horizontally while falling. I put her back. Told myself it was a fluke. Went back to sleep. That was my second mistake. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. I kept Margaret in my sight the entire time. When morning came, I did something I should have done from the start. I placed her back on the floor where I found her. Then I created a barrier, talcum powder in a complete circle around her. If she moved, if anything moved her, there would be evidence, footprints, disturbance in the powder, something. I also tied fishing line from her waist to the shelf leg. Thin, clear line. If someone tried to move her, even me sleepwalking, the line would pull tight or break. Night 2, October 25th. I set up 2 cameras this time. One on the tripod, one on my nightstand pointing directly at Margaret. I locked my bedroom door from the inside, put the key under my pillow, and tried to sleep. At 11:51 p.m., I woke up to the sound of something snapping, not loud, just a sharp little crack. She had moved again, 4 feet from her original position. Now she was 8 feet from the shelf, 4 feet closer to my bed. The fishing line was snapped, not pulled loose from the knot, snapped clean in the middle. And the powder was completely undisturbed. Perfect circle, smooth surface. Margaret was now 2 feet outside the circle, but there were no drag marks, no footprints, no disturbance at all. I checked both cameras. Same thing as night 1. Margaret is in position at 11:50 p.m. At 11:51 p.m., she's 4 feet closer. No movement between frames, just gone from one spot, appeared in another. I know what you're thinking. Camera malfunction, sleep paralysis, some rational explanation. That's what I kept telling myself. But I had one more test. Night 3, October 26th. I wasn't going to do this again, but I needed to know. I needed proof of what was happening. For cameras, for angles, all recording simultaneously. I placed Margaret back in her night to position, 8 feet from the shelf, 4 feet from my bed. I marked her position with tape. I measured the distance to my bed exactly 4 feet. If she moved tonight, she'd be at my bedside. New fishing line. This time I wrapped it around her neck and both arms, secured to 3 different anchor points. If she moved, at least one line would show evidence. I didn't want to sleep, but I had to. I had to see if it would happen again. This time, I heard a sound that was different from the others. Not a thud, not a snap. This time, it was music. If you've experienced something like this, comment below. I need to know I'm not alone. And if you want to see what happens when I investigate the most haunted cell in Alcatraz, the one that drives people insane, subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't believe what I caught on camera. It's even crazier than Margaret. Like this video if you made it this far. And follow Creepy Corner for more documented paranormal investigations. Because this is just the beginning. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Can't wait to see you all later. Bye for now.